Begin in child's pose, with the big toes drawn together and the knees wide, arms reaching overhead. And allow yourself to ground as you breathe deeply into the belly and let the belly lift away from the floor as you exhale. Take several breaths here. As you're ready, you'll press into the hands and shins to bring yourself up into a tabletop position, lining up the knees underneath the hips and the wrists under the shoulders. Begin to move through cat and cow. As you inhale, the heart draws forward, the gaze and tail lift. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, lift the low belly and round the spine. Continue for a few more rounds, allowing tension to melt away from the spine. Return to center and tabletop, and then begin to move side to side, drawing the shoulder toward the hip and drawing the hip up to the shoulder as you look over the shoulder and feel the side bend, stretching one side of the waist and contracting the opposite. Come back to center and begin to circle the hips. The head will move in the opposite direction and reverse directions of your circles, continuing to breathe slow and deep. Reach your left arm up high and thread the left arm underneath the right, coming onto the right fingertips and beginning to turn the torso. If you need to walk the knees back to create more space for the breath, please do so. After a couple of breaths, you'll press into the right hand to lift yourself up before bringing the right arm overhead and threading it underneath the left arm. Again, maybe coming onto the left fingertips and using the left arm to turn the torso. Ground into the left hand again to bring yourself back into tabletop. Then you'll tuck your toes, lift your knees, and press your thighs back for downward dog, bending one knee at a time, stretching out the backs of the legs before coming to stillness, with the knees bent, the palms grounding, and the thighs pressing back. Inhale to lift your right leg up and back. Bend into the knee and start to stack the right hip on top of the left. Left thigh continues to press back before neutralizing the pelvis and stepping the right foot through the hands, lowering onto the left knee. Find stability in the pelvis, grounding into the front heel. And then you'll inhale, reach the arms overhead, grab the left wrist with the right hand, and bend over the right leg to the side. Find your stability in your legs by hugging the thigh bones toward one another. And then bring yourself back through center. Bend at the elbows, cactus shape the arms. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, they frame the front foot. The back knee lifts, step back to plank. And on an exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts, knee bends, and you stack the hips. Bring the pelvis back to neutral. Kick the left leg back before drawing the knee to the nose and stepping through. Again, lower onto the back knee. Press the left thigh down. Lift the hip points away from the front thigh. And then you'll reach the arms overhead. Grab the right wrist with the left hand and begin to side bend to the left. Breathe deeply into the side of your waist as you stay grounded in the lower body. Come back to center and cactus shape the arms. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the back toe, lift the back thigh. Step to plank. Take an inhale before exhaling back into downward facing dog. You'll start to walk your hands back to meet your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. If you'd like to clasp the hands at the elbows and sway side to side, go ahead and do so. Release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a bit deeper. Inhale, the arms sweep overhead. And exhale, the hands gather at the heart. Walk yourself forward to the front of your mat. Ground into the heels. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale with a flat back fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees. Plant the hands and step the right leg back. Staying high on the back leg, reach the arms overhead for crescent lunge. Take several breaths here. Spin the back heel down and open the arms up into Warrior Two. Take a moment to wrap the outer left thigh under and reach the inner left knee forward over the toe. Reach the rib cage forward, find your elbow onto your knee, and reach the right arm overhead toward whatever's in front of you. Stay grounded in the outer back heel. And then bring yourself up, reversing in triangle. And then reaching your chest forward once again, keeping the front leg straight this time for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Ground into the big toe ball mound and bend into the knee to bring yourself into Warrior Two before spinning on the back toes, stepping forward into the forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, fold. Inhale, with a flat back rise, reach the arms overhead before bringing them to heart center. Second side, we inhale, the arms reach overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, coming into crescent lunge on the second side. Reach the arms overhead. As you bend deep into the front thigh, try to lift the back thigh up before spinning the back heel down, coming into Warrior Two on the second side. Taking time to bend deeply into the front knee and press the back thigh straight back. Stay grounded in the back heel as you reach the ribcage forward and come into side angle on the second side. Right elbow to knee, left arm reaches overhead. Start to straighten the front leg as you bring your torso all the way up, right arm reaches overhead, and then again forward to come into triangle pose. Again, ground into the big toe side of the right foot as you also stay grounded in the back heel. Bend deeply into the front knee, coming back into Warrior Two, before again windmilling the hands down, spinning onto the back toes, and stepping the back foot forward to fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold a bit deeper. Inhale, rise, arms reach overhead. And exhale, hands come together at the heart. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step the right foot as far back as you can before walking the hands to the inside of the left foot. Coming into lizard pose, we allow the left knee to drop open. Maybe release the top of the right foot to the floor. If this is going well and you'd like more sense of stretch, come down onto the forearms. Continue to lengthen the front edge of the spine, pulling the collarbones forward and breathing slowly and deeply. Spend several breaths here. Allow yourself to soften into the shape. When you're ready, you'll come back onto your hands, palms, hug the front knee in, tuck the back toe and lift the back thigh. Walk the foot to the center between the hands once again, and reach the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers behind the low back, spin onto the back heel. Inhale, the heart lifts. Exhale, the torso folds, bringing the left shoulder onto the knee and reaching the wrists overhead for a deep shoulder stretch. Bring the wrists back down to the low back. Release the hands and reach the arms back overhead as you inhale. Exhale, fold, spinning onto the back toes and stepping the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, gather the hands at the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, flat back fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step the left foot back, and bring the hands to the inside of the right foot, lowering down onto the left knee. Either stay here or begin to open the right knee out to the right, release the top of the left foot to the floor. And if it feels right in your body, you'll lower down onto your forearms, where you'll spend some time here softening. Notice if your jaw is clenched and allow it to release. Notice if the forehead is gripping and let it soften. Slow the breath here. As you're ready, you'll begin to lift yourself back up onto your hands, palms, hugging the front knee to the midline and walking it between the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back thigh, come into crescent lunge, and then interlace the opposite thumb on top behind the low back, spin onto the back heel, inhale into the back bend, and exhale, fold, bringing the right shoulder to the right knee and reaching the wrists up overhead. See if you can stay grounded and weighted in the back foot. Then bring the wrists back down to the low back. Release the hands overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold, spin onto the back toes, and step the back foot forward. Release the crown of the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep overhead as you stand tall. Exhale, hands come together at the heart. Bring yourself onto your shins. Your hands will come onto the low back. The fingertips point down toward the floor. Keep the low back long and maybe tuck the toes under for stability. As you begin to lift the heart, hug the elbows toward one another, coming into a modified camel pose. Feeling a deep stretch in the front body. As you breathe slowly and deeply, as you're ready to come out of the pose, lift yourself up, release the tops of the feet to the floor, sit back and swing the legs around in front of you. Lower down onto the floor, knees bent and the soles of the feet on the floor. Bend the elbows and lift the hips up for bridge pose. You can leave the hands at the hips or you can interlace the fingers behind the back, walking a little higher onto the tops of the shoulders, grounding into the heels and breathing deeply. If you've taken the arm variation, go ahead and release the hands, lower the pelvis, and allow the soles of the feet to come together as the knees drop open and the hands come to the belly. As you soften the breath, feeling the belly fill on the inhale and drop on the exhale. Feel free to stay here or extend the legs in front of you and the arms by your sides for Shavasana. Spend as much time as you'd like here. Namaste.